Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of retiring in the Lone Star state of Texas. Maybe you're sick and tired of the politics in your state. Maybe you've absolutely had enough. The straw finally broke the camel's back and you're looking for states in which to retire. And maybe Texas is on the list of states to consider. And if so, you're gonna love this video. We'll start with the bad news first, the cons. The first con of retiring in Texas is Texas has some very severe weather. It is what it is. They get really bad storms. Occasionally they get really bad freezes. And during the summer, it is as hot as... If you're coming from a place like California where the weather's always sunny with a high of 75, this may be a little bit of a change for you. So just keep in mind, Texas has severe weather. They even do get tornadoes occasionally. At the end of the day, you chew up the meat, you spit out the bones. There's pros that outweigh the severe weather, but keep that in mind if you are considering moving to Texas, because it does have some pretty severe weather. The second con is there is some big city crime in Texas. Typically, the crime is centered around the big cities like Houston or Dallas. Sometimes Austin and San Antonio also have some pretty bad crime. But if you're going to be living in the outskirts or the suburbs, honestly, they're very low crime. So most of Texas is pretty low crime, but just keep in mind, if you go into a bad part of Houston, you better be packing a gun and looking over your shoulder because you never know what's around the next corner. Another con, I hate to say this, but Texas has a consistent losing football team. I know this may make a lot of people angry, but the Dallas Cowboys just cannot seem to win. So if you're going to a state where you're hoping that you're going to be adopted into a new winning football team, don't go to Texas. The Cowboys will find a way to screw things up. Another con is traffic. Believe it or not, in those big cities, the traffic can be horrendous. It almost reminds me of LA, to be honest. It's that bad. They have a lot of toll gates, so you're gonna be paying to go to work, which is a pain in the butt. It is what it is. If you're gonna live in those big cities and commute, you're gonna be facing some traffic. If you struggle with road rage and you have the urge to run people off the road or throw things at them, you may not like the traffic in Texas. Another con, property taxes. Texas has the 6th highest property taxes in the country. The average property tax equals 1.81%. So if you have $1 million home, you're gonna pay $18,000 in property taxes. Keep that in mind if you're buying a massive home coming from a California or New York where you're like, holy cow, I can get so much home for so cheap. Well, you're gonna be paying quite a bit in property taxes every year, so keep that in mind. The final con is there is quite a bit of water problems, drought, water security. Texas is a dry state, as you can imagine, and so sometimes they have droughts, which can affect watering, how much water usage you can use. So keep that in mind. If you like lush, green, oasis type Garden of Eden states, Texas is not gonna be a good fit for you. Let's talk about some of the pros. Well, Texas has some very affordable cost of living. Most of Texas is relatively affordable, and it's actually very affordable in comparison with some of those states like Connecticut, New Jersey, California, Illinois. Texas has some really great deals or bargains. You can get a very nice home, you can get some land for very affordable. So if you're looking to kind of expand your roots, Texas can be a great place to get a good deal on a home or some land. Another great aspect of Texas is the limitless outdoor activities. Whether you like to fish, whether you like to hunt the lake or wakeboarding or windsurfing or, paddleboarding, whatever, there's a ton of outdoor activities that you can do in Texas. They pride themselves on outdoor activities. So if you like the outdoors, you like being outside, Texas is a great spot. Another pro would be top tier healthcare. It is what it is. We're gonna get sick, we're gonna get old, we're gonna get decrepit, And towards the end of our lives, we're gonna want the healthcare options as we get older. And especially in the bigger cities, they have lots of options for healthcare. So you can get a very nice assisted living. You know, maybe they serve champagne at 3 p.m. and you can get your, you know, steak and caviar, you know, at your nightly buffet or whatever. There's some really good options for healthcare, especially as you're aging. Also, it's a great state for business. Whether you're an aspiring Elon Musk type entrepreneur, there's a ton of opportunity. If you want to start a business, if you want to plug in and get a great job at a thriving new startup, whatever the case may be, there's a lot of opportunity for making money, building a business, or plugging into an existing business altogether. Texas has a lot of money and businesses flowing into it because of their treatment on taxes and their business-friendly environment. So if you're wanting to pick up a new career or maybe finish off the last couple years before you retire, Texas is a great spot for opportunity, making money, and entrepreneurship. Another reason why it's a great place for entrepreneurs and business owners is there's no state income tax, which means you can keep more money in your pocket, you can build a bigger nest egg, you can spend more money on things that are important to you. There's no state income tax. It's one of the few states that has that, and that's why a lot of people like Texas for retirement. This one is important. Guys, Texas has some of the most amazing cuisine, the most amazing food, and I'll dare say they have the best barbecue in the entire United States. I don't care what anyone says, Texas has the best barbecue ever. If you're a foodie, Texas is the place to be. There are restaurants on every single corner. That's probably why there's so many fat people on every single corner too. Just know that with all that rich food, you better have a good gym membership because you see a lot of people swelling in the midsection in Texas. There's a lot of obesity, but it's because the food is so good. So if you're a foodie and you like good food, Texas is gonna be a great spot. Finally, probably the most important, Texas is pro-freedom. America, they like their rights, they go off of the Constitution, and they believe in carrying guns. They believe that their rights and freedoms are to be protected, and if anybody gets in their way, they are going to have a problem. Texas, it is what it is. They're a pro-Second Amendment state. They believe in self-government, and it shows. A lot of their laws are very right-leaning. It's a very good spot for freedom if that's what you're pursuing. If you're fleeing from a state where it's felt like prison, then you're gonna love Texas. It's one of the biggest draws to that state. If you like more content like this, please hit like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.